Danny Zuko's 1948 Ford Deluxe Convertible. Danny Zuko's car is the undeniable star of Greece's automotive lineup. This primer gray 1948 Ford Deluxe Convertible arrives rough, unfinished, and defiantly imperfect, much like Danny himself. Introduced right after World War II, the 1948 Ford was one of the first all-new post-war designs, still carrying rounded pre-war styling cues, but featuring fresh, slab-sided bodywork that became an instant favorite among hot rodders. The deliberate battered condition, no complete paint job, visible primer patches, unrepaired dents, is everything. Danny doesn't need gleaming chrome or flawless bodywork to feel like the king of the T-Birds. The raw, unfinished appearance mirrors his tough exterior, his rebellious swagger, and his conviction that real power comes from attitude, not perfection. It's a bold statement of teenage masculinity in an era when owning and wrenching on your own car in the driveway was a defining rite of passage. This visual evolution perfectly parallels Danny's personal arc, the greaser willing to clean up his act, earn a Letterman sweater, and change for love without ever losing his essential cool. The car isn't discarded for something new. It's elevated, proving that growth and maturity don't mean selling out your identity. Kenickie Murdoch's 1948 Ford Deluxe Hot Rod. Kenickie's ride starts from the same 1948 Ford Deluxe foundation as Danny's, but it's pushed into far more extreme hot rod territory. This one sports a chopped top that dramatically lowers the roofline for an aggressive rake, a channeled body dropped deep over the frame, flame paint licking across the hood, an exposed engine with multiple carburetors, loud lake pipes, and exhaust headers that roar. It's the kind of build designed to turn heads, demand respect, and announce arrival long before it's in sight. The car is a direct extension of Kenickie's personality, loud, impulsive, brash, and constantly trying to prove he's the toughest T-Bird. He proudly names it Greased Lightnin, dreaming of thunderous speed and complete domination in the Thunder Road race against the Scorpions. That mechanical comedy reveals his hidden vulnerability. For a guy who positions himself as the gang's top mechanic and gearhead, owning a project car that never quite runs right is a constant source of humiliation. It humanizes him, exposing the insecurity and bravado beneath the leather jacket and tough talk. In the end, the fantasy Greased Lightnin represents every teenage hot rodder's dream. That sheer passion and a little magic could transform their troubled build into the ultimate street machine overnight. The T-Birds 1951 Ford Custom. When the T-Birds cruise together as a full pack, one of their primary group rides is this 1951 Ford Custom. Slightly newer than the 48 models, the classic shoebox Ford design had fully matured by 1951. Clean slab sides, integrated fenders, and long roofs that made it a favorite platform for car clubs nationwide. Sturdy construction, abundant parts, and proportions perfect for lead sled customs with lowered suspensions, nosed hoods, decked trunks, and custom grills. This custom appears in group scenes with restrained modifications, perhaps a mild drop, some tasteful pinstriping, swapped hubcaps or fender skirts, but nothing as outrageous as the solo hot rods. That subtlety shifts focus to collective identity rather than individual ego. It's the car you see when the entire gang piles in, arms dangling out windows, combing ducktails in perfect sync. The 1951 Custom's substantial presence and smooth lines make it ideal for carrying the whole crew while still looking tough, rolling down the boulevard. The T-Birds 1953 Ford Crestline. The T-Birds also share a 1953 Ford Crestline Sunliner convertible, illustrating subtle evolution even within a few short years. By 1953, Ford styling had softened further, more chrome trim, wraparound windshields, rounded contours, and an emerging sense of confidence that previewed the longer, lower, wider designs coming later in the decade. The Crestline represented Ford's premium trim level that year, offering extra bright work and a slightly more upscale appearance while remaining fully customizable for teenage tastes. For the T-Birds, arriving in the 53 shows they're adapting with the times, progressing as a unit without abandoning their greaser roots. The convertible top adds extra cruising freedom, ideal for drive-in dates, beach parties, or simply feeling the wind while blasting the radio. The Scorpion's 1949 Mercury 8. No vehicle in Greece exudes more menace than the Scorpion's heavily customized 1949 Mercury 8. In authentic 1950s custom culture, the 1949 to 1951 Mercurys reigned supreme, the undisputed kings of the lead sled scene that defined California custom style. Builders chopped tops dramatically, channeled bodies low over the frame, Frenched headlights, rounded corners with pounds of lead filler, shaved door handles, and dropped the stance until it nearly scraped sparks off the pavement. The Scorpions aren't just high school rivals playing tough. They're older, harder, and more dangerous, with a car that looks professionally built and ready for real trouble. No amateur primer jobs or half-finished projects here. It's dark, low, chopped, and sinister, radiating genuine threat rather than teenage bravado. When Leo issues the Thunder Road Challenge, the Mercury's visual intimidation makes every word credible. It's the automotive embodiment of a rival gang that could actually cause serious harm, elevating the stakes far beyond schoolyard fights. Sandy's 1960s-era compact car. Sandy Olsen pulls into Rydell High driving a vehicle that feels completely alien. A clean, sensible early 1960s compact import, likely evoking a Volkswagen Beetle, Renault Dauphine, or similar small European model. The film deliberately keeps it generic and unremarkable, tiny, practical, fuel-efficient, and utterly removed from the big Detroit iron filling every parking spot. This choice brilliantly underscores Sandy's outsider perspective. She's arriving from a more conservative, sheltered world where cars are simply appliances for getting from point A to point B, not rolling declarations of identity or status. No weekend customizing sessions, no cruising rituals, no dreams of quarter-mile glory. Her compact reflects wholesome middle-class values and a life untouched by hot rod rebellion. When Sandy finally transforms into tight leather and confident attitude at the finale, the story wisely doesn't swap her car for a hot rod. Her growth is internal, learning to navigate power dynamics, claim space, and express herself within this existing teenage ecosystem, without needing to adopt the hardware of greaser culture. The Pink Ladies 1954 Ford Convertible. The Pink Ladies arrive in vibrant style aboard their bright 1954 Ford Convertible, playful, eye-catching, and perfectly aligned with their bold, feminine energy. By 1954, Ford designs had gained even more chrome flair and sculpted details, while convertibles embodied ultimate freedom and flirtation. Dropping the top meant being seen, feeling the breeze, and challenging the era's restrictive norms for young women. This Ford prioritizes visibility over outright speed, pastel or bright paint, white wall tires, Continental kit with a rear-mounted spare, plenty of shiny trim, and an overall stylish rather than aggressive vibe. It's less about racing and more about owning the boulevard, turning heads and commanding attention in a male-dominated car scene. Frenchie, Rizzo, Marty, and Jan use the drop top to project sisterhood and confidence, proving girls could claim just as much space and respect on the street. The top-down cruise becomes its own act of rebellion, hair whipping in the wind, laughter carrying far, refusing invisibility in a world that often tried to enforce it. Rydell High background cars. Greece's immersive world-building owes much to the background vehicles. Every parking lot, street cruise, and drive-in scene overflows with authentic late 1940s and early 1950s American cars. Chevrolet Fleetlines and Style Lines, Plymouth business coupes and sedans, additional Fords in every body style, plus scattered Buicks, Oldsmobiles, DeSotos, and Dodges. The production sourced dozens of genuine period-correct cars to fill every Fremeno obvious anachronisms or stand-ins. The background mix, some bone-stock daily drivers, others mildly customized, exactly replicates real American high school parking lots circa 1959. It constantly reminds viewers that Greece isn't pure fantasy. It's a stylized, affectionate recreation of a precise cultural moment when cars became the center of youth identity, social hierarchy, romance, and freedom. From Danny's transformative 48 Ford that matures alongside its owner to Kenickie's unreliable yet aspirational hot rod, from the Scorpion's intimidating Mercury that signals real danger to the Pink Lady's joyful convertible claiming feminine space, and all the way through the everyday post-war classics crowding every scene, every car in Greece captures a unique facet of late 1950s teenage life. Rebellion, vulnerability, brotherhood, transformation, and the exhilarating joy of cruising with friends, windows down, radio loud, and endless summer nights stretching ahead. So that's our full breakdown. Now I want to hear from you. Which car in Greece do you think best captured the spirit of 1950s teen rebellion? And which one surprised you the most when you learned its real-world significance? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Greece car culture and 1950s custom history, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our next video. We have plenty more breakdowns coming soon. See you in the next one.